Hello, this is just a short video, just to clear up some errors and inaccuracies that I made in the previous episode. Instead of deleting that video and starting again, I thought I would just make this wee video. First, I apologise for how dark the previous episode was. As I said 2 episodes ago, I've started using Shadowplay, and when you make YouTube videos, YouTube assumes that the footage that arrives at their servers comes with Studio RGB colour space. And normally I incorporate that into the videos that I edit together, but I forgot to add it into my workflow when I was making the Shadowplay video in the previous episode, so that's why it turned out so dark. But hopefully this is a Shadowplay video as well, so hopefully this one will look a bit more bright and colourful. Another thing is that YouTube, when I make these videos, I usually use 2-pass systems so that you're not getting movement artifacts and whatnot when the camera moves around, and try to make the videos look as good as possible without making them absolutely huge files. Unfortunately, YouTube, the videos I make are fine when I look at them, but unfortunately YouTube has this compression algorithm that kind of introduces its own artifacts. So I apologise if any of my videos ever look a wee bit blurry or anything like that. A small point is that I said I was wearing the Alone Captain's armour before the Smelter Demon fight. It's actually the Alone Knight armour chest piece that I'm wearing. And unfortunately I've had no luck with getting the Alone Captain's chest piece or the helmet. What else? You see I picked up the Black Steel Katana. I mentioned in previous episodes about that weapon being quite slow for being a quick draw katana. There was quite a wee interesting piece of lore there where it said the old Iron King invited artisans to his the King's court, and that's interesting because there's an area in the Iron Keep where there is a lot of decorative architecture and specially crafted items, and you'll see that probably not the next episode but the episode after that. Anyway, what else? The other inaccuracy that I incorporated into the previous episode was the fact that I said that Lucatiel's story, what did I say? I said something along the lines of you need to have Lucatiel present for 2 out of 3 fights. Well, Lucatiel is actually available for 4 fights. In order to complete her storyline, you need to win 3 out of the 4 fights. And surprisingly, I went and did a bit of research into this, and it's surprising that you can actually use a bonfire ascetic mechanism, or system, whatever you want to call it, to satisfy those requirements. You can actually win 3 out of the 4 fights by taking on a boss that you've already taken on. So for example, you can summon Lucatiel for the Flexile Sentry boss fight, and if you use a bonfire ascetic there and win, you win again. So you win in New Game, and then you used an ascetic and you win in New Game Plus, and you've summoned Lucatiel and kept her alive, then that satisfies the requirement. So you've won then 2 out of 4 fights, and you only need to then win a remaining fight against either the Smelter Demon, the Lost Sinner, and who's the other one? Black Gulch, that's it, the Rotten. The same system applies to other NPCs, so like Ben Hart of Hugo and things like that. You just need to win a proportion of the fights that they're available for. And I actually need to go back and redo an area using a bonfire ascetic because I missed out Ben Hart of Hugo, and it became apparent that I'd done that afterwards. So I won't spoil it and say what area, but it's a wee bit further on. Lastly, during the Pursuer fight, I said that the Pursuer was on a mission to kill sinners. I think it would be more accurate to say he's out to kill undead, to atone for his own sins. And another observation I forgot to mention about the Pursuer fight is the fact that I've watched it a few times now, and it looks different at the beginning. His moves look more active and energetic at the beginning, and towards the end of the fight he looks lethargic. And that leads me on to my last point. Is the Pursuer real? Is there a person under that armour? Or is the Pursuer just a golem? Is he just a self-operating machine? If he does become lethargic, that suggests, doesn't prove, but it suggests to me that there is somebody under that armour. The other question I had was, is the Pursuer even real? Is the Pursuer even real? Is it the same Pursuer that we fought in the Forest of Fallen Giants that comes here? And you'll notice that the Pursuer always arrives when after you've vanquished a boss. So we killed the last giant, he arrived. We killed the smelter, he arrived. Anyway, see you in the next episode. We'll finish Iron Keep. Thanks for watching.